Welcome to another league, and today we're gonna be playing Blue-White Dreadstill in Legacy. So we have been toying around with the combination of Phyrexian Dreadnought and Standstill in some various shells. We have cut the Dreadnoughts for some land still, but now we are back with a deck that's been tried and proven in earlier formats, which is the Blue-White Dreadstill, combining Scroll of Fate with Phyrexian Dreadnought and Stifle, and a control package with removal and counter magic, trying to make value with the Standstills and Ascanta and the Karns. And Shark Typhoon is a flexible cantrip that puts on pressure while behind the Standstill. It can also be a great finisher with the Hardcast Typhoon. And we have some spice in the Cosmic Intervention that can really ramp you out, and it can make some serious damage with Wastelands. In the sideboard, we're since we are we can't fit 3-man lands if we want to have the Wastelands, so we have gone for a Field of the Dead, and for this league I'm trying an Oboro instead of a colorless land. Getting to cast your spells can be the most challenging thing against the Delver decks that's out there. And for the sideboard, we have sort of a Karn board with a third Scroll of Fate, some Graveyard Hate, and some other stuff like a Powder Keg that's engineered explosives on crack, Crucible for the recursion. So there's like not like a win the game card, more of a value thing or getting the right tool for the situation. And other than that, we have the Ashocks. That's great in most matchups, to be honest. So just a good card, and is secretly perhaps the most important win con of the deck. When you can't choose them out with some Phyrexian beauty. And the white cards are giving us some utility. We have 2 anti-storm cards in the Canonist and the Deafening Silence. Porphyry Roads is the 5th Swords to Plowshares. Mastery of the Unseen for the grindy matchups. Jag spelar in. And a Humility for it can come in almost any creature matchup. It's especially good against the Merit Lage decks and Uro decks, stuff like that. Alright, so let's take it for a spin. So we've been doing some decent results with the deck, not anything, no 5-0s, but we have a 4-1 and a 3-2, but also losing leagues as well, of course. So we have our mana. We can pitch for a counterspell. It seems great. And I will fetch a blue land immediately, since we don't want to get stuck under a stifle. We can avoid it, and we have to be careful if we fetch a snow covered or a normal island. So now we'll play the flooded strand, and if he taps out, we're gonna fetch. And now the question is, do we get a double white or double blue? And I think it's more important to get the double white, since for me Volk is probably signaling something a bit aggressive, but we could be wrong. Wow, he's looking for lands. That's great. Okay, we didn't get a lot of information, so it could definitely be show and tell. It could be some sort of Delver deck. And I think in either case, humility is going to be good. The Ashux is going to be good. Other than that, could bring in one of the graveyard hit that at least cantrips. I think we'll start with that. Can't bring out the counter magic because we cannot be sure that it's not a combo deck. So we can probably bring out 2 of the dreadnoughts. We want to keep the stifles. The deck had red, so Jace is probably worse. Maybe we just don't bring in the graveyard hate and do something like that. Since we have the 2 Ashux, I think we're fine. So if all the matches are as easy as this one, we're gonna do just fine. So see, this is a hand we can't keep happily anyway. We might get stuck under a stifle. I think we're gonna ship this. Oof. Well, this is just worse, but at least we have the standstill coming. I'm gonna keep this and ship the Karn, and let's just pray. We have 2 draw steps to find a land. So now the question is, if he plays a Delver, it's gonna be interesting. What do we get? Okay, that's a good one. I think I'm gonna get a blue one first, since I'm not gonna get dazed out of her only counterspell. Sure. And him not flipping is just awesome. And he doesn't find a land again. That's just incredible. He must not be having a good day. Oh, he did. Well, our wasteland isn't the worst, so I think I'm just gonna let this one go, and I'm gonna swords the Delver. this could be blue-red Delver, I guess. Sure. So here I'm going to start with a brainstorm, see if we can find a land. We did. So I don't think we want the Dreadnought or the Scroll of Fate. I don't think we're set up for that just yet. Maybe we are. Maybe it's the Standstill. And then we draw the Vista. Or maybe the Standstill is better if we can clear the board. The scroll has the potential to be cheesier, but do we think that is gonna be enough? Not sure. So potentially we could kill the Delver now. He doesn't replay anything, and what are the odds of that? Not great. So maybe it's the Savins that's going back. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then we draw the Vista next. Play the Wasteland to play around swords, play around days. And if he forces this, I'll be ecstatic. So give us 2 cards, please, opponent. No, no such luck. There's an argument to use the Wasteland, but I kinda want the mana. And I would love for him to play an Uro or something. That's fine. So if it doesn't play a creature, what is my play? That's just fine. That's great. All right. So I kind of want to save the Ashok for the Uro. I think I'm gonna go for the Scroll of Fate. And hopefully we don't have to crack. Or maybe we should. He might not have an answer for the Dreadnought. So probably his best answer is us not being able to use our mana, which is so the question is, how much do we like the Savins? I think the answer is not enough. And I think I'm gonna get a blue so that we can play the Ashok. I'm not in love with that. So let's make him move first. Do your thing. And please draw 2 cards and crack a fetch. Sure. So what could he have? Could have a... No, not submerge. Sure. That's fine. So let's bring in the Dreadnought. And let's just attack. And we will probably just play the standstill afterwards. Take that. What have you got? Alright, so let's stand still him. Okay. Stifle doesn't work. So, what are your answers, my friend? There are none. Okay, so we managed to beat Rug Delver. That's great. I'm happy with that. That's actually one, not the Rug Delver in particular, but Delver is, it's tricky. And what I've identified as the big issue is the mana. They just, I mean, in spite of us playing like 6 basics, we have a hard time getting our mana under us in time. Do think we have, if we can deploy the mana, we have enough stuff to deal with their threats. But the combination of Stifle and Delvers and Goyfs and whatever is rough. Another deck that's really rough is Grixis Control. They just grind us out. I've added a little bit of protection against Storm with the addition of Deafening Silence. So we have at least a game, and some matchups are very, very close. See, this is a very risky keep. We're gonna keep it. It has 2 lands, it has counter magic and whatever, but against a wasteland deck, we're gonna regret our choices. Start out with the Tundra, At least we can brainstorm. So please no wasteland. That's not a wasteland, that's a swamp. Okay. That's a funny one. So this is ninjas. So let's brainstorm, I guess. Or maybe we just pitch the brainstorm. A brainstorm. Sure. So we would like a swords to plowshares, please. That's not it. So we are some ways away from the verdict. Or we could jam a Scroll of Fate next turn. Kind of, yeah, we might. So let's start with the Caracas. We'll take our legs from the ninja. I think I've only played this matchup once. I saw that it did well in some tournament. Okay, that's not a ninja. Okay, this is something else. I'm not sure what I'm playing against. So I think we'll have to cycle so that we can. Okay, so this is a combo deck of sorts. Sort of the meek. Alright, I'm not sure what I'm up against, so. So the question is, do we just jam the Scroll of Fate? That means we will be drawing the Supreme Verdict, which isn't great. Yes, I think we'll be happy just cycling the shark. We can block the Ornithopter, then he can't ninja us. At least not easily. Okay, that's fine. Sure. So we need more lands, that's for sure. Land, please. That's not a land. So we're just gonna jam the Scroll of Fate, I think. See if it sticks. Sure. Seat of Synod makes me want to bring in the powder keg, since it kills them. So I'm sure he's bringing, he has Hullbringers and Days Undoing. So it's a Karn Echoes deck of sorts. Not really sure what version it is. Alright. This could be a Karn. Okay. So this is blue steel. Okay, time to draw land, please. So not perfect. No, it's not perfect. Never mind. Well, if we don't draw land, we can at least... yeah, maybe I should use the Scroll of Fate. That way we can attack. Don't think the standstills are gonna be great. Okay. So we could bounce the master. I think we're fine just killing it. And I'm quite happy if we can just get that Narset out of the game. If he wants to keep it, that's fine too. So now the question is, do we want to jam the standstill? I think the answer is yes. Bit of a risk, but who knows? It might pay off. If he's playing ninjas, it's gonna be terrible. Okay, not a ninja. That's good. Very good. Alright, so what's this? Sure. That's fine. So we need to find the Karn. So far this isn't the worst. I mean, the Thopter Foundro combo is fine. That's it. Yeah, sure. Okay. So he only has the 1 mana, so he can't get the sword into play. So we can set up some sort of cosmic intervention turn, We could bounce the Foundry. And probably protect the Teferi. Kinda like that. We can keep up the Stifle as well. What does it? Until your next turn. Oh, okay. So let's foretell. And then next turn we can Supreme Verdict away the tokens. That's a sweet card. Sure. So you're trading a card for a 1/1 flyer and a life. That seems reasonable. So let's just stifle that. That's fine. All right, so let's block the Strix. I think. Maybe we don't. Yeah, I think we do. We're gonna lose the shark anyway. Can't really protect Teferi. Comes to that. Okay. So we can do some sweet stuff with Cosmic Intervention, and I think we will. Can get him down to 2 mana. And then next turn we can wipe the board with the plus Teferi. That seems reasonable, and then we can try and find Karn. We need to play quicker. We're behind on clock. So let's get a snow cover island. And if you haven't seen this interaction, it's pretty sweet. I'm just gonna kick back. We're not gonna win by damage raising them. Sure. Luckily, their combo is gonna take quite some time. So planes and go. That's just fine. Sure. So I'm not gonna manifest. So now we have 4 plus 3, yeah, sure. So where's the Karn? Great, another land. So let's start with the Teferi. Are you gonna force? Nope. So that means we can at least wipe the board. But we are really dying for that. That Karn. Right, I'm gonna put some triggers on this. She has yield. So that will take time from him, not me. Great. So why would you play Ornithopters if you're not playing ninjas? That, I guess, is the big question. I would love for him to tap out. Love. So I'm gonna get that snow-covered plains. I'm gonna wait till the block. Sure, they're all coming from me. So maybe I don't actually care. What's that, 6 damage? That seems fine. That means we can wait. Get another draw step. I think that's fine. So let's just draw Karn. Okay, a Typhoon. So let's see, 3, 6, 8. That's not quite enough. So let's just plus. And wait. Alright, tie. Why would you do it in response? Alright. So let's see what we draw. Karn. No. Well, that might not be the worst. So we could get a 3/3 shark. So 3, 6, 9. So I think I'm gonna go for that. And I think we're gonna get the last of our lands out of the deck. And we can bounce something. Could probably bounce the Foundry. There's the Karn. Okay, so unless he has a removal spell, which he certainly could have. That's fine. Okay. Sure. We're probably gonna have to bounce one of the tokens. Get something with Karn. Okay, that's not bad. So let's do that. No, I did that in the wrong order. Fuck. Stupid. That was bad. That was real bad. And I could have attacked. Well, never mind. I'm just hoping this will be good enough. So let's just plus the Teferi and hope for the best. And now I didn't even... Alright, many mistakes, many mistakes. So what is the rest of your game plan, my friend? Can't do anything this turn, so I'm just gonna yield. And we are just slightly behind. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so let's bounce the Ornithopter just for the draw. Let's... What do we have? We have a liquid metal coating, that seems great. Yes, please. And then we can play the Jace. And next turn Karn can possibly kill the Chalice. So now the question becomes, do you give up? So you could have an Ursa, which would be interesting. So we're ahead on time. Tezzerator. Okay. So we can port that every turn. Or we could attack it down. I guess we can attack it for 2 at least. Okay, so let's start with that. See if he wants to trade his Thopter, which I'm guessing he will. I'm gonna upkeep, port the Tezzerator. I'm not sure he sees that line. We're gonna kill the Chalice. I'm gonna plus. I think I'm not gonna use the yes right just yet, but I'm gonna play the other Shark Typhoon. So this means we can probably finish him off quite quickly as soon as we have the opportunity. And now we port. No Tezzerator for you. And next turn we can actually kill the Tezzerator. So we're just slightly ahead on time. We stabilized in the nick of time. And I think we are favored to win this one. It was a few clutch turns. I think waiting with the Supreme Verdict might have been the saving grace, perhaps. We were lucky that he didn't have the removal spell. Okay, that's a white mana. What have you got? We know he has another Thopter Foundry in hand. And if that's his play, we're very fine with that. So this should be an Ursa, I think. They should be playing it, shouldn't they? I used to play a lot of Tezzerator back in the day. I think you can find some of my old videos from a few years back. Okay, that's for 2. Don't know what that does actually. It goes for the Liquimel. Okay. That doesn't really matter though. We will just kill the Tezzerator. You can't activate it. That's funny. Okay, so he has 9 minutes and 31 seconds. Okay, so what should be good against him? The powder keg is probably fine. Crucible could, yeah, Ashia could be a thing. I mean, he has fetch lands at least. Humility, maybe. He does have the Stone Forge. These are all good fetches with the Karn. So we should bring out 3 cards. I think the Stifles are fine. I think the Dreadnoughts might be what we cut. 2 of them anyway. Kinda like the Forces. Oh yeah, he's bringing that 1-mana artifact that makes tokens as well. The verdicts are staying in. Standstill might not be great. Yeah, I guess I'm leaning heavily against Karn in this matchup. There's a Karn, but only 1 land. That's not great, so let's... Yeah, I guess I'll have to keep this and hope for the best. And we'll send back the scroll. I think so. I might want to play one of my walkers, and the other one is going to be my pitch card. Yeah, you can't have that. I think I'll prefer to have the Teferi. Land, yes. That's great. So we are in it. Okay. So do we want to play the powder keg? I don't think so. We want to hit some stuff. And if he plays his artifacts lands, that's something. So we're up 1.5 minutes on time, so that's good. That's fine. That's great, actually. One Thopter we can deal with. Can bounce that one, to be exact. Okay, so we can save the Caracas. Let's bounce the 1/1. That's a Scroll of Fate, that's a card that does stuff. Okay, that's not too bad. No ninjas. Okay, that's a shark. I think we will just... Oof, it's very tempting to just kill them all. I think we'll do that. While the getting is good, we'll get a land and 2 Thopters. Are you running counter magic is the question, I guess. Well, it doesn't matter, since we have our Teferi out. That's a 3-for-1. That's fine. So I think we will just chill out. I mean, it's up to him to win twice in 7 minutes. Sure. Gonna bounce that. We'll make a 2/2 shark that can block that. Hopefully we can find another blue land, and then our Teferi can counter the Foundry. Yep. So you can make 1/1, that's fine. Sure. And we'll counter it on the way back. No siree. Alright. So I guess we'll have to, well, we can cut him off some mana again. We have the Stifle for his Delta. So you can start attacking. Nope. We've been bullying this opponent. So let's make a 2/2 island. I think that's another 2/2. We'll see. Embry. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So, some stuff. I should have probably waited, but whatever. I can take the hit. That's a brainstorm. That's interesting. Yeah, so he could have Caracas. He missed it. I missed it. So I'm gonna brainstorm in my turn so I can have some selection with what I make into a 2/2. Perhaps we can even find a Dreadnought. We cannot, but I think it's gonna be the Force of Negation drawn first. We'll make the Vista into a Stifle, into a Manifest. So he missed that Caracas line, and I must say I often miss the Caracas line. There's just too much information in a game of Legacy. So we have some protection against what he can do, I guess, with the Force of Negation. Yeah, you can't have that. Okay. You should attack, yeah. And he's buying time. So let's just attack. You want to wait, that's fine. And you should have done it from the get-go. Sorry about that. So that was a beating. So I'm gonna have a break before my third game. So I will be back in a little bit.